When a person encounters a wolf in the forest, it usually ends badly for either the person or the animal. One such encounter became a true salvation for a she-wolf and a man. This is an incredible story of kindness and loyalty that will surely leave you moved. Once, a man was returning home through the forest when he heard strange sounds, reminiscent of a wounded dog. He followed the sound and soon saw a she-wolf caught in a trap. It was clear from her appearance that she had been trapped for a couple of hours and was severely exhausted. As he approached, the man realized that this she-wolf had recently given birth. Her pups were still nursing, but the little ones were nowhere to be seen. They were probably too frightened, and the she-wolf didn't have the strength to call them. The man didn't know what to do. Although the she-wolf was weak, he was afraid to approach her to free her. A wounded animal is ready to fight with all its might and can easily injure someone. But he also could not leave things as they were, knowing that somewhere in the forest, the pups might die of hunger. The only thing that came to his mind was to cup his hands around his mouth and howl like a wolf. Having lived near the forest all his life, he was well acquainted with animal behaviors. He even knew how to imitate the sounds of birds and animals a little. The man howled for about a minute, but the pups did not appear. He was ready to give up and go home. But suddenly, the leaves on the bushes rustled, and 3 tiny wolf cubs, no more than a month old by the looks of it, cautiously emerged from the thicket. They were unsteady on their little paws, clearly very frightened. But hunger eventually drove them out. They approached their mother and eagerly began to drink her milk. However, the man continued to worry about the fate of these little ones. He understood that their mother was very weak and might not survive until morning. If that happened, her children would be doomed. The man decided to spend the night in the forest to ensure that the wolf family was not harmed. He hoped that by morning, he would come up with a way to help them. He woke up with the first rays of the sun, fearing most that the she-wolf had not survived the night. But fortunately, he saw that she was still breathing, albeit very weakly. The she-wolf opened her eyes. It was clear that she wouldn't have the strength to attack when the man touched her and her pups. Moreover, it seemed she didn't want to do that. Wolves are very intelligent animals, after all, so she understood that since this man had not harmed her or her children while they slept, he could be trusted. The man pried open the trap and freed the wolf's paw. After that, the entire family slowly made their way into the depths of the forest. The man had done all he could, but he still worried about the fate of the wolves he had saved. The she-wolf was too weak. All he could do was hope for the best. For a year, the man returned home through the forest every day. But he hadn't encountered any wolves. One day, he was walking his usual path when he suddenly saw a bear standing right in his way. Our hero then ran away in a panic and climbed a tree. But as is known, bears can climb trees too. So he had to think of something quickly. The man did the first thing that came to mind. He cupped his hands around his mouth and began to howl, just like a year ago when he had called the pups. He didn't even know what he was hoping for. But suddenly, 4 wolves appeared from the forest. There was no doubt. It was the same she-wolf and her now-grown pups. They quickly chased the bear away and disappeared back into the depths of the forest. Thus, the wolves repaid kindness with kindness a year later, saving the man from certain death, just as he had once saved them.